earlier. The jump's good. The jump actually, jump gets a reaction. So, I mean, it's good if you use it once in a while. You don't want to do it if you have a bunch of kids in the front, little babies, you know, or in the back. You know, it's selective. And then there's just what's called unmagic. I stink at unmagic, okay? Never been good at it. We've got guys that are great at it. Well, one retired guy. But an example of unmagic would be this. It's stupid, but it's funny. That comes from Norm Bernhardt. It's funny. You know, you take and you cover two red Solo cups. Okay, they're together, and then you take one, you have your finger hooked in the thing, and it turns into two. You know, like that. Just stupid, just dumb. And you know what? There are people that can pull that off. I'm not one of them. But you know, I've tried that stuff, and it doesn't work for me. So let me show you some other things here. We've got magic that's now no longer PC. This is a fire book. Pour lighter fluid on here. Then as you open the book, you strike it with your finger, it lights this on fire, and a flame comes out this high. And then as you're talking, you hold it to the side, and then when they tell you there's fire, you close the book. You go, where? I don't see no fire. They tell you, and then you open the book again, and because it's in this thing here, and there's enough air there, it right up again. It's great. It's funny. It's awesome, but you can't do it anymore. There's something I'm reading in David Ginn's book called the Boingo Hat. I don't think you could use that today. I know there are people that are, because I saw it at Moose Camp. And what it is, it's a little hat that sits on the head, or it's a little triangle hat. You bring a child up, and you try to put the little triangle on the head. It's too small. So you unfold it a little bigger, and it's bigger. And now it's still too small. And you keep doing that like 5 times, and finally by the 5th time, it's this big triangle that's going over their entire head of paper. And it's this monster face. That violates the #1 rule of time, which is, everybody,
Make fun of him.
never make fun of the kid. Always make fun of yourself. So I'm not a fan of that. Although, from what I've heard, it's hysterical, and it's still loved by a lot. So, having said that, now, I'll show you one more thing before I wrap this up, because I don't want to keep this terribly long. I got this hat. It's a top hat that pops out, okay? And I got it for like $1, a 75% clearinghouse thing. And I told my wife, I said, what should I do with this thing? And she said, I don't know what to do with this thing. And one day I got this out of my case, and it went like that, and the kids laughed. Light bulb, tink. I said, wow. So then I pushed it in. I look up at them, pause. No. Stay. You know, and that's it. It's a type of magic. There's no magic. It's a spring. The kids know it's a spring, but it's a type of magic. It's an area of magic that you can employ anywhere. You can go to a restaurant and set this down. Say, I'm going to set this down here. What? No, stay down. There. Kids love seeing you get frustrated. There. Now I'm going to pick this up. You know, along the same lines. Oh, I didn't bring it. Is a pop-up wand. Oh, I did bring it, because I did bring my magic. Shh. Is a pop-up wand. Goose. Canadian goose. Canadian gave me that goose. This right here, you push down and it pop. No, stay down. Same thing, where you, quick, you give it a life of its own. It doesn't like you. It's making you feel foolish because you're trying to be the hotshot. And it works best with the confident. I am all that, because you use the bottom of stay, the bottom of it. And the kids are rolling at this point. You know, and so on. And last but not least, I mentioned this at my last lecture, but since we are re-recording, the absolute grandioso of all magic tricks in clowning. This is the holy grail of clown magic. Everybody agree? Everybody bow to the breakaway. But I have adapted a way of doing this where I take out 100% of the risk factor of upsetting a kid. I've said this before. When I was at a clown college lecture, the guy gave this to me. Boom. I knew what was going to happen. It collapsed. He looked at me and goes, "What'd you do?" And maybe I'm just uptight, but I want to punch him in the nose and say, "I didn't do anything. Don't yell at me." Is what I wanted to say. You know, I took it wrong because I wanted to say, "Why are you yelling at me? I didn't do anything." 99.99999% of kids will not have that attitude. Okay, I did, but they won't. So what I do is I remember how it made me feel. Remember what I said about the way you walk out feeling? So I hand this to the child. I said, it goes like this. I said, "It's very old, don't break it." And they go, "Eh," and they're laughing. And I say, did I do that? And they go, "Yeah." And I go, they always say, "Yeah." And I said, "I did that?" And they said, "Yeah." And I said, well, I got to fix it. Or whatever, however you want to make it. And then I give it to them again. Now, don't break it. I know you didn't break it last time, but I did. What am I doing wrong here? You know, and I'm blaming it on me. I do the very same thing with the multiplying wands. Brian, just for a second, please. Where I give a kid a multiplying wand, and I've got a new bit on here. Y'all are welcome to it if you think it's funny. Where I pull it out and I look at it, and they're laughing, and I go, "Did this just get smaller?" I find that funny. Okay, yeah. I pull this out, I go, "Did this just get smaller?" And they go, "No, yeah." I ask them, "Did you do that?" And that way I give them the opportunity to say yes, and I'll say, "Well, don't do that again, because it's getting smaller again." Don't do that anymore. Then I blame it on them because they've allowed me to, and then I go like that and say, "Okay, you need to stop. Put that under there, because if you do that again, then we're going to end up with 5, and if we end up with 5, you know." And then I smile at them. Always smile at them. Never act mad without a quick smile. You know, if you act mad, immediately smile down. So, thank you, Brian. Everybody give Brian a great big round of applause. And last but not least, this has nothing to do with clown magic. This is a Canadian goose. If you guys buy anything this year, buy the Canadian goose. I don't care if you work in Wichita, just as many parties as me. You put the goose in there, like that. People laugh. They laugh. And then when you open it, you put like that. And the kids just laugh. And then at one point you know. Now here's what I tried. You can cut this at this point, or I'll conclude. You can cut it. But I tried this once. I said, "Did we kill it?" And the kids said yes. And I said, "Well, then let's give it CPR." I did that at one party. So I hope you all learned a lot. Thank you for being a wonderful audience. Any questions? Now that the film's done?
Where did you get you that?
I had some Canadian at Goose Camp give me that. I looked it up on the internet.
I don't understand it.
You don't understand it?
How does it keep on squawking?
Yeah.
It sucks air back in through like a valve in the mouth.
Instead of going out, you know,
Okay.
you squish it out and go back in.
So you've compressed it in there, and then when you raise the lid, it's no longer
Then when
compressed.
you-
Yeah, make sure I set it on top of my stuff.
That's interesting. I've never seen a Canadian goose. I haven't been around the world.
Now, I saw on the Axtail website, you can turn that off, Raymond, you can do that. On the